Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you how I created an arched board and batten wall for our nursery slash guest room. I'm not even sure if this is the best way, but basically I measured out all the studs. I don't think it'll be too close together, so this is kind of the approximate width of the piece coming down, and that's how far that one will come out. So the space between the two, I think it's too close, because if I went out further and wanted to hit a stud, I'd have to do like one giant arch instead of little ones. So I think that with a 10, I think the little ones will look better. So I measured out, it's 142 inches across from end to end. Each board will be 3 inches wide. So now I have to subtract and do all the math to figure out how wide in between will be, which will help me figure out how big my arch will be. Okay, so with my 142 and 3-inch spaces, I came out with 12.44444 for the spacing in between, and that's too difficult. So I changed all of these to 2.5 inches, so each one of these will be 2.5 inches. That equals 25 inches total for the board, leaving me with 117. That divided by 9 spaces gives me 13-inch spacing, so I don't have to come up with crazy numbers. And 2.5 is actually the same width as like a 1x3, so it'll look good. And I think having a tiny bit bigger of a space there will look a little bit better, where it was looking a little small with the extra inch on the inside. So now I know when I go to, because I want to cut, I'll cut my arches. Now I know that they'll have to be 13 inches across, and then I'll fit, when I do my first one, I'll probably do like a practice to figure out how big the arch will be and stuff like that. But based off the paper from upstairs, I think like a foot or foot and a half board going this way to cut arches into will be plenty. This pencil and string method was not foolproof, so I just went back and forth a couple times to make a couple passes, and then I am using the one piece as a template for all of my arches. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be. For this entire project, I am using 1/2-inch MDF plywood. I had a lot left over from another project, so it was perfect to use it up. I just tried to go really slow while using my jigsaw to get the straightest lines I could get, but then I went back in with some sandpaper just to really smooth out my arches, so that I wouldn't have any rough edges. As mentioned before, I spaced all of my arches so that when they would come down, I was in the studs. And then all of my pieces going straight down will also be in the studs, so I don't have to use any glue or anything. I can just use my nail gun. She's standing in the crowd. I just wanna see the light. I'm so sick of waiting and getting too restless to be in this dusty town. I've heard of this place where people forget and you get another try. So come open up my door. I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. I won't see your face wherever I look. I'm blinded by the light.
I just wanna see the light.
Probably gonna sound out of breath. I got them all lined up and ready to go. I measured each one individually because ceilings can be uneven, making this piece uneven. And this way I won't get any weird gaps. I also added a 2.5 inch piece at the bottom to butt up against the baseboard. Instead of having these go up against the baseboard, this will look a lot cleaner. And these are not the colors. I tried mixing my own color to get something. I don't like this. This is too like on the blue side. I was going for like a sage. I picked up another color that I am gonna love. The color I chose to go with is Evergreen Fog by Sherwin Williams. I had it color matched at Home Depot in a matte finish, and I absolutely love this color. It just really goes with so much warm tones and cooler tones. It's a really beautiful color. After I got everything nailed in, I went back with my wood filler and filled in any seams where the wood meets wood, and also any nail holes. This is the portion of the project that I usually have a hard time getting through because it's like the most boring. I just want to get to the painting portion so I can really see a big transformation. These steps are very necessary for a nice smooth finish. It's just really hard to get through. Here you can see me vacuuming. I had actually sanded down all the wood filler and then vacuumed just to like clean up as much dust as possible. Somehow I did not get that filmed. And then I came back with the caulking. Caulking is used when you have the wood that meets the wall. So I'm 6 panels in with caulking. That word is tricky. I have 3 left, but my hand is like really tired and I'm starting to get sloppy. So I'm gonna take a little break and we're gonna come back and finish the 3 remaining panels and then all of the edges. So here I used blue painter's tape on the edges to try and get a nice smooth edge. It didn't really work out great. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if I didn't let it dry long enough. So I went back again and tried it again, and I just have not perfected this method, so I'm not going to try and explain it, but there are ways to get a nice crisp line. I was just having a hard time. Maybe it was the caulking that I was using. I'm not 100% sure.
And if you're using raw wood, you definitely want to use primer, especially with MDF. I always use primer when I am painting MDF because it is so porous. And then after I'm done doing the primer, I go in with a sand, like a nice fine sanding block or sanding paper, just to smooth it out, and then I go in with my paint. The primer that I'm using is not my favorite primer. It's by Kills. It's like an all-purpose outdoor primer, but I had a huge can of it and I'm trying to use it up. It does have a strong scent, so that's why I'm wearing a mask. Being pregnant, I definitely got to protect myself. I think even not being pregnant, you should use a mask if it's strong fumes. Like I said, I went in and sanded the primer down, and then now I'm going in with the paint. I'm using a paintbrush on all the seams, and I'm going anywhere that's flat with a roller just to get it as smooth as possible. So before I show you the finished wall, I'm going to just jump over to some of the other little details I did. I took these brackets that were in the room before and I wanted to spray paint them a gold color. This is like a champagne color, and just add more delicate colors and touches in the room. I also took the shelf that was in there before. This was kind of like a rustic look that I had done a few years ago. I'm cutting it down to the size that I need it now, and I'm going to go over with just white paint and give it a fresh coat of paint to give the whole area above the dresser a nice little update.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret.
Here you can see I'm going to take down this painter's tape. I used it as a guide and a visual for where I wanted my shelves to be. Luckily, I was able to leave the areas where the screws were before for the shelf in the same spot, and I just made the shelf smaller, so I didn't really have to do too much there.
Sleeping in the back of a van, roaming in the wilderness. We never need a plan. We'll be alright, just you and I. Singing from the top of our lungs, dancing by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone. You gotta understand.
After the shelf was dry, I just came in with some decor and some books, just that kind of went with the theme of the room, and did a little bit of decorating. The little macrame hanging wall decor, I actually put some little wooden dowels through and added some hooks to hang the bows on.
Look back at this summer night. This summer night. This summer night. This summer night. This summer night.
I absolutely love the way this room is turning out, especially with this really pretty accent wall. I'm really proud and happy with the way that it turned out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see future DIYs and projects and stuff like that to come. Thanks, guys.